Hi, welcome back to our question and answer session for the career transition video series that I'm doing. Today I'm going to answer a couple of questions that people have asked me. I only picked two because I was asked a bunch of questions and some of them were along the same veins. I picked two of the biggest, two questions that had the most entries. And so the first one is, I'm busy with demands for my family and career. My best days I can check in with a friend or work out. How can I possibly find time to change careers? I barely have time to brush my teeth. It's understandable. We're all incredibly busy, especially when you have family, friends, career obligations. It's hard to fit it all in, even without adding looking for a new career. But the thing is, you have the time. I saw somewhere they were saying like you have the same amount of hours as Beyonce does. And I thought, that's great, except I don't have all the help Beyonce does. You probably don't either. But what you do have are little segments of time that you can fit in doing things for your career transition. So instead of looking on Facebook, spend 5 minutes just looking through LinkedIn, asking people to join your network, or shooting an email to somebody you've been meaning to talk to, reading a article about the career that the industry you're interested in going into, instead of reading the latest celebrity gossip. I know I'm guilty of that too, so I have to make myself do more productive things when I'd rather just chill. So that's the key to this. You don't have to have huge section of times. You don't have to spend hours sitting down and redoing your resume. Sometimes you only have 15, 20 minutes, if that, to do something. But make those 15 or 20 minutes count. So instead of trying to redo your entire resume all at once, choose a section every day for a week to go through. And then maybe you have to take another week to go through each section again to make sure it's what you want it to be. But make sure that you don't think that you have to do it all at once. You don't. But you do have to be productive. You do have to be efficient with the small amounts of time that you do have. So that's how you find the time. You have the time. You just have to make sure that you're using it wisely and using it according to priorities. So the second question I got was, I've been in the career that I have for years and I've built up a good reputation, but now I want to do something different. How can I leave a career that I put so much time into? It's a very common question. We've spent years, money, time, everything into our careers. And some of us are still literally paying for it if you went to school for it. So the thing is, there are two different ways of looking at this. The first step, I would say, is to decide if you want to change jobs or if you want to change careers, because those are two different things, and one is much more involved than the other. So you have to really look at what you're upset about. Are you upset about your current position, but not necessarily your entire industry? So maybe you just want to leave your job. You want to leave your current job. And if that's the case, you look for another job. You don't necessarily have to look for a whole new career. So you just look for another job because you're unhappy with your current one. If, however, you really aren't happy with what you're doing and with the area that you're working in, then you have to ask yourself two questions. Do you want to stay in your field but do something different? Or do you want to change fields entirely? And if it's the first one, for instance, I'm an attorney, so you don't have to practice law. You can work for legal publications. You can work in arbitration. There are lots of things you can do with a legal degree. Same with a medical degree or any other degrees that you have. So you may want to stay within your field. And that also makes things a little easier because like you said, you've built up a reputation, you have a wider network within your current field. So you can talk to people within your field to find what options are and what those things are really like. If you decide, I don't want to do any of this, I don't want to do my current field, I hate my job, I hate my field, I'm done, I want out. Then you go through the steps that I described in earlier videos about thinking about what do you like, what don't you like, what are your strengths, what are the things that you want to do, and start looking at different fields that you might be interested in, and then doing the research on those fields, which includes reading about it, talking to people, meeting up, get some real live experience. So those are the things that you would do if you want to completely change fields. But to go back to the specific question about feeling like it's a waste, that you changing a career when you put so much into it. It's not a waste. whatever you've done, whatever experience and education you have, it will carry over into your new job or career, because you can't help it not carrying over. Everything that we experience gets carried over into our new experiences. The only waste will be if you let hours, days, months, years go by being stuck in a position, in a career that you absolutely hate, that you dread going to every single day. Even when you're not there, you hate even thinking about it, and the idea of having going back makes you nuts. That's a waste. The only waste if you refuse to be courageous enough to make the changes that you need to make in order to live the life you want to live. Now, I'm not saying that you should just quit tomorrow. I guess tomorrow is Sunday, but quit whenever you want to quit and just leave without a plan. I'm all about having plans, making sure your budget's in place, have things lined up before you do it, but you have to get things lined up. In order to get things lined up, you have to take that first step. And so that first step is to identify what exactly is bothering you. Is it your current specific position when you would need to change your job? Is it you want to do something else within your field? Is it that you want a totally different field? So start there, but know that having the courage to move forward is never a waste. So those are the two biggest questions I had. So I decided to go ahead and just address those two. If you have any other questions, or if you want to talk to me about career transitions, perhaps your own, or you have questions, or you want me to look at your resume, feel free to drop me a line through LinkedIn or send me an email at lauren@taikicoaching.com. Have a great day.